Hey Superstars, I am back to share with you an introduction to the 5th of the 12 Thrive Factor Archetypes. This is the Mediator Diplomat. Now, what can we tell about the truth teller of the archetypes? She is driven by not just a desire, but a need for things to be fair, right, just, and equal and harmonious in her world, but in the world in general. This is an archetype that is here to shine the light on the truth of things, to bring a matter-of-fact, practical view of the world. If things in her experience or her opinion or her expertise are unfair in any way, she wants to right that. She wants to do something about it. So there's some links here to the energy of the advocate rescuer and wanting to advocate. And it's not an uncommon thing for an advocate rescuer to have the mediator diplomat or the mediator diplomat to have the advocate rescuer in their profiles as well. And when that's the case, this whole energy of bringing to light what needs to be advocated for is significantly amplified. So the mediator diplomat archetype, as I said, she is practical, she's pragmatic, she can be pedantic about things, she can be very black and white about things. So you can see that in the card, the night and day, black and white, there is the scales there. She is about things being balanced, although a lot of mediator diplomats that I've spoken to over many years now say to me that they don't feel that balance is the right word. So we often talk about it being about there being a blend of things, the give and take, the to and fro. She can be very black and white about things, and she sees the world as it's this or it's that, and can find frustration in those of us, and I say this because I'm one of those people, that is not so exacting and black and white about things. Those of us that spend time in the greys of the world where things are not as exacting, they're more fluid, they're more creative, they're more flexible. So if you, as a mediator diplomat woman, have archetypes that are more creative, more inspirational, so I'm talking like the visionary, creator, the inspirer, believer, the shapeshifter, alchemist, you can find that there can be some challenges with harmony with your mediator diplomat, who may at times feel like she's the one that's coming in and squashing all the fun, taking all the excitement out of things, particularly if you also have the inspirer believer archetype, who is, as you've learned if you've watched that, is the archetype of the cheerleader, of she's high energy, she brings this spark to the world. And the mediator diplomat sometimes finds that a bit too much. Yeah, I was just twice already today, I've talked about the mediator diplomat archetype and how she can feel like that, that little energy sitting on your shoulder saying, is this really a good idea? Should we really be doing this? Let's weigh up all the risks. Let's check out the pros and cons. Let's make sure that this thing that we're going to do is perfect. Because of the 12 archetypes, this is the archetype that has perfectionism to a high degree just wired within you, mediator diplomats. The average high quality or high standard or high expectation for the everyday person that has those high standards is maybe here, and the mediator diplomats is just like keeps going, right? It's so high, so can be so extreme and unrealistic, and she can set herself such high standards that it's very hard for her to ever see that it's possible to achieve them, or to ever know that she has ever achieved them. That's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's not an anything. What I always suggest to mediator diplomats is that if you have this archetype, ladies, that you spend time focusing on gratitude and really acknowledging what you have already achieved and accomplished and what you've done and the incredible value and quality of the thing and things that you bring to life or share with the world, particularly through your business, but also in your life, so that you're not putting all your energy into what is not yet done, not yet accomplished, not yet achieved, not yet looking right or perfect, or whatever words that you use. You can be so harsh on yourself. And this is also the archetype of the judge. Now, it's not that mediator diplomats are judgmental of others, but those harsh, exacting, high standards they have for themselves can mean that they can be very critical and judgmental. And when they're doing that on a personal level, sometimes that can play out in their interactions with others, and they could come across as being a bit judgy or a bit judgmental or a bit critical. trust me, if that's happening with a mediator diplomat in your life, it's highly likely that she's judging herself in a ridiculous kind of experience. Very unfairly is what I have mostly witnessed. And it's just the language that's coming out is a reflection of what's going on internally for her. It's probably not directed at you at all, unless you deserved it, right? So mediator diplomats, as I said, spend that time in gratitude. Acknowledge the gifts that you have, the strengths that you have. Use those rather than focusing on the potential challenges. Be mindful when you're feeling critical and judgmental and like things just still aren't right or aren't how they need to be. This can tie into other archetypes significantly. As I said before, she can impact the energetic state of some archetypes. You know, when the mediator diplomat feels like she doesn't yet have the thing right, if she also has the mental teacher, that can send her off on a path of, well, must need to go and learn more. I must need to go and do this so that I can then make sure that I'm delivering value. Her desire for quality and value is something that's important to also mention. The thing is that often mediator diplomats can get stuck in the need for things to be perceived by others as being of incredible value. And what can often happen with this is that she can get to a place where she puts more things into her work, puts more things into her programs or her services, because she really wants people to walk away feeling like they had a value-driven experience. She wants things to be of quality. And yet I've frequently said, it feels like more so in the last few weeks than in a long time, I've said to many mediator diplomats that I have as clients in my programs and one-on-one, that ladies, you don't know how to do anything but deliver an incredible high quality experience that will be perceived as amazing value by anybody that interacts with you. So let that go, but I've got to make sure this is of value, because you don't know how to do anything. You don't know how to create, you don't know how to deliver, you don't know how to facilitate anything that is not. Even if you're a product business, you don't know how to provide anything that's not of value. So keep that in mind. Be gentle with yourself, be kinder with yourself. Focus in on the fact that you don't know how to do anything that's not of value and of quality, and that's going to hold you in such good stead for the way that you show up in the world. It's going to help you to be more magnetic. It's going to help you to deliver whatever it is that you want, to get the incredible feedback that you're desiring, whatever that looks like for you in your business. Now, let me think if there's anything else for the mediator diplomat to share with you. I can't think of, I can. I was going to say I can't think of anything else, but I can. A key thing. This is an archetype that has the most incredible listening skills, to the point that people that spend time with you will genuinely feel like they've been heard, which is taking listening skills to a whole new experience. There are so many people in the world that just want to be listened to, but they also want to be heard. They want to be witnessed. They want to have someone sit there and to know that they have that person's undivided attention. And the mediator diplomats of the world have a gift for doing this. What that often means is that they find themselves in the middle, mediating, being the diplomat, not talking out of turn, not pushing their boundaries, not upsetting people. And yet, when the mediator diplomat, as I said right at the beginning, gets a sense that something is not fair, right, just, or equal, she wants to do something about that, and she will find her voice and she will speak up in support of her view, usually a very well-educated one, about what is the truth of the matter. Now, for those of us that have mediator diplomats in our world, those of us that go to the mediator diplomats in our world to air our woes, to get them on side, to have someone listen to us because we know that we will be listened to and heard, we need to be mindful that we're not taking advantage of the good nature of the mediator diplomats. And mediator diplomats, this is a reminder to you to have clear boundaries about how much you will give and how much you will listen to someone's, often, as you will say, nonsense or various other words that you may come up with. When a mediator diplomat has heard the thing that somebody is wanting to share with them, or that, they keep going on and on about the same thing, the same complaint, the same issue over and over again and do nothing about it. They've come to the mediator diplomat seeking advice, seeking support. The mediator diplomat will usually give that freely. And as I said, a well-educated, well-informed, very just kind of, piece of feedback or information for someone to do something with, and that person does nothing with it, the Mediator Diplomat can get a bit tired of that pretty quickly. And she will put her walls up and put her boundaries up and say, no, I'm done. Like, I've told you this many times and you've still done nothing about it. I don't want to hear about it, which is not a bad thing, because it's the Mediator Diplomat actually setting appropriate boundaries and saying, I've been here, I've listened, I've supported, I've done whatever it is that you've asked, I've given you feedback, I've given you support, and there's only so much I can do that with. I can keep doing that. So let me think. No, I don't think there's anything else for the Mediator Diplomat, but if you have this archetype, please feel free to share a comment, to let me know what you love about her, to share any stories and any information that may help others with this archetype, as more and more women are getting to know what their Thrive Factor archetypes are. And wherever you are in the world, have a beautiful rest of your day.